ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನಾವು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
How is US?
US is not really on a lockdown, but kind of self-induced lockdown.
That was there from the initial, right? Our uncle is doing all
No.
jinchak
Nobody
jinchak.
is doing anything. It's self-induced because people are scared. But if you go out to a grocery store on a Saturday or a Sunday, you can see as many people without masks roaming around. I
Even in
think
US, they
now
don't wear masks. That is
they
really
don't.
shocking. I thought only
Yeah.
Indians, but
I think it's because people said that mask cannot really protect you. It's to protect others from you. I think there
there are a
was
lot of
some
theories.
conflicting things going on, but yeah, it doesn't matter. I wear two masks and go anyway because I'm so scared.
Yeah, even gloves for that matter.
Yeah, gloves as well.
What's the time right now?
It is. I think it's 11:35 a.m.
In the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost 9 in the night here. Shubha Sanjay. Namaskara.
Namaskara. Nimik
For a second,
Shubha
for a second, I thought I forgot my intro only. I was just thinking that's why I'm like asking the time. Like, what was my intro again? What was my intro again? So, yeah. So let's get damn straight on the point. You have completed
Sure.
MS and you're quite experienced and you've passed through all the student stages. How
Mm-hmm.
much would you prefer doing an MS if you were right now in India, just finished engineering? How much would you prefer of doing it?
If the condition with regards to
Not, yeah,
economy was all
let's
right,
not let's not take the COVID into the consideration
yeah.
because that's a pandemic and that's not proper and it alters a lot of properties. So let's see the ideal condition and you've just finished your engineering and
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how it is out there. On a scale of 10, what is your choice?
So giving so that nobody pounces on me for making any
No,
statements,
you
giving
you have to give your own this thing, because that's
yeah,
when it becomes a real.
exactly. Like I don't want people to pounce on me. That's what I'm saying. I am in no way going against whatever the situation is in India because it's like fast growing economy with everything. You are with your family. That's all great. But it depends on your priorities. And with regard to the exposure and the quality of life in your entry level days, I would prefer students or people in young age exploring their career options. If they can really afford it, then they should really come here, get a gist and exposure that this country has to offer.
Okay, since you have done engineering here in India and then you
Mm-hmm.
have gone and done the MS degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a lot of confusion. Let's get from the basics. Can you just define what is MS and what is the degree that you get and what are the advantages and how do you do it and stuff, basic stuff?
MS is just a graduate degree. So here, engineering they call as undergraduate, and whatever is after that is graduate degree. And in India, we have options of doing MTech or an MBA. Here, it's MS is another option. It's a STEM degree. I mean, I think there are non-STEM options as well, but preference is STEM degree. There are like multitude of options you can get in business analytics, you can get in information systems, you can get in biotechnology, mechanical, civil, electrical, like multitude of things. Mostly whatever options you have in India for engineering, you have everything from masters as well, so you can pick and choose whatever track you want to get your masters in.
Okay, what is the relevant degree for MS in India?
I think it's mostly MS, MTech, sorry,
MTech.
MTech in India, which is like completely focused on technology.
Okay, now we have cleared a little bit of basics. Now please give us your intro and what do you do and which university did you complete your MS in and what
Oh,
subject?
okay. Okay. Do you want me to start with my undergrad degree introduction of
That
India
would
as
be
well?
better. Yeah, that would be better.
Okay. In India, like, I don't think we had a lot of options because we get pressurized to pursue whatever is booming at that time. And
Okay.
I started engineering in 2008. That was recession time.
Nine,
Um,
the typical recession time.
yeah, it was that, and people pushed me to take up electronics because the mentality was computer science. It was a recession time. People were not getting as many jobs. So electronics, you can get a core job, okay? So nobody knows what a core job is, but if you pursue electronics, you get a core job. And so take electronics. If you don't get electronics, next option is computer science because
Like a
computer
substitute.
science has few electronic subjects in it. Okay. And if you don't get computer science, go for information science, which
That is like
is
the
nothing but computer science renamed with some extra subjects plus or minus. I said okay, and the worst thing, I did not get the expected score in my second PU and
hmm,
CET.
hmm.
So I chose the college which my family and I finalized upon. Basically, my family, which I had maybe two words to say, and of course they had the best interests in mind. But still, at that time, you know what the mentality is.
But I personally know why that college. For those of
I,
you who don't know, she is my sister. That's why she's
yeah.
doing it so peacefully and without any formality. But yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I mean, they picked a college in the same city that my family was in, thinking that if she is not close to the family, maybe she will not do as well in exams. Maybe she'll ignore things. Maybe she'll get distracted. So I didn't have a say because I didn't get good score. I said, okay, not bad. I mean, even I had all those dreams, you know, go to a different city, have fun, party during engineering and all that, but that did not happen. So like a sea down in Chikmagalur. Chikmagalur is my hometown. But now when I think of it, it was the best option. That time I didn't realize, but now I really think that was a good thing. So when I went for my CET seat picking, whatever counseling thing,
Hmm,
electronic seats were done. It was even computer science was done for that matter. I got
hmm,
information science, the
hmm,
third best.
hmm,
Then I went for my second round and I got computer science.
hmm.
And I actually wanted computer science because I had no idea what electronics is, okay? Like, not that I knew a lot about computer science, but at least here and there, bits of it. But I chose computer science. And then I started college, and then I got the zeal. Like, my parents did not, they were so harsh on me for getting low marks. I got this zeal to study and everything. So,
You
first
became
and
a
second, and
university topper.
yeah, I mean, college topper. Let's keep it there.
Yeah.
First and second semester, I got really good marks. And
Really good is extremely good. Let me make it very clear. Extremely good. That
yeah,
too in VTU.
yeah. In video, that time we didn't have the CGPA. We had this typical traditional
But
percentage.
still, VTU is,
Yeah,
people will understand.
yeah,
VTU is VTU.
yeah. I got like 90 plus in that. And then my parents asked me, okay, we will pay this extra, whatever extra fee they have, and you can take up electronics branch if you want to. Like, my college gave that option after
Branch
first
change
two
after second
semesters.
sem. Hmm.
Yeah, you can pay this extra fee and switch to a different branch if you want. But I don't know, I had this kind of ego that I am going for the whatever major that I have earned. So
Hmm.
I got computer science. I'm going to stick with computer science no matter what. And that's how I stayed in computer science, and I really enjoyed studying the subjects. And then finally, I got a degree in computer science and engineering.
That's amazing.
Then I worked for Fidelity National Financial India for 2 months, and then
Just like an internship.
yeah, I mean, not soon after engineering. So I had an offer from Tata Consultancy Services, but I had not got the joining date yet.
Okay.
So in the interim, while I was preparing for my CAT and GATE,
Cat.
uh,
When did
yeah,
this
for
come in
MBA.
between? Okay, this is sounding interesting.
So when you're in engineering, you will want to explore a lot of things. Okay.
You want to
Only
do
one
everything that's
thing I
possible.
was sure of, I want to get a master's degree.
Hmm.
But I was not sure what I want to get that in.
But how come after work you wanted to study? Because there is this mindset, right, that once you start working, it becomes very difficult to study.
I think that's a myth actually. There's no stopping for education. The more you get, the better it is. Because,
Talking money wise.
yeah, money wise, we'll come back to that later. That's the important thing. That's when you start thinking wisely, so called wise things. But at that time, I just knew I wanted to do a degree. My dad has 3 degrees, and my mom too.
We can do an entire vlog on him alone.
Yeah, my mom too, and I was like, I'm not just getting 1 degree when my parents have 2, 3 degrees. How can that happen? No, I want a degree. And my dad, for that matter, he had plans of getting me enrolled for MTech, PhD level. Like, let's think of PhD later, but masters, pakka I'm gonna do. But the question is, what I'm gonna do it in. Pre-final year, you can start giving your GATE exam, which is
Hmm.
for MTech, entrance for
Gate, you write
MTech.
it for MTech. Okay.
MTech, yeah.
Hmm.
So even though I was not sure I wanted my MTech degree, because my dad kind of told me how important that is, how good that will be for my career, I thought, okay, let me give it a try. I I did not prepare for it a lot because it was pre-final year. I could give another attempt even after engineering,
Yeah.
right? So it was just a trial and error
Trial.
thing. But then I felt bad for not preparing because I missed the gate cutoff in 4 points.
Ego.
I'm like, damn, if I prepared a little more, then I didn't have to prepare for another attempt. I could have just got done with it, fluke kind of. But yeah, after giving gate, it was in sixth semester, I guess, when I
Okay.
gave gate exam.
That is, yeah,
Then I
almost.
thought, okay, yeah, maybe next time I'll give it. But sixth semester, I got TCS offer. Then by seventh semester, something changed in my head, and I'm like, no, no, forget MTech. I'm
Yeah.
I'm doing MBA. Okay,
Okay.
then
Gate, shift from gate to cat. One
yeah,
letter gone.
then that time we didn't have so much access to Google and all. It used to buffer whenever you used to search for an article. But somehow I did my intensive reading on how good an MBA is.
Hmm.
IIMs, thinking of
Hmm.
IIM level
Business
right
school.
at the
Hmm.
beginning. I thought, okay, this is it. I spoke to my dad. I told him I'm not going that route of MTech PhD. I'm doing an MBA. I'm gonna sit and prepare for my CAT exam.
Can you do a PhD degree after MBA?
You can, but I think it'll take a lot more time. It depends on your research idea and the
But there's a
professor that
possibility.
will.
There is
Yeah,
a gate open.
there is. But you can't do it based on your MBA as master's degree. You
Okay.
need to do your higher studies in that field, I guess, and continue it with the PhD.
Basically, you can. Yeah. If you
You
want to,
can.
there is always a possibility.
And yeah, that's when I decided I'll prepare for CAT. Final year engineering, some personal downs were there, but after that, I picked up and pakka CAT exam. So TCS had not given me a joining date yet. I enrolled in Time, which is like traditional what kids
Hmm.
do, Time or Byju's, or there are a few others.
Hmm.
I picked Time for some reason, and then I started preparing for CAT. I gave the first attempt. Percentile was in 70s.
Hmm.
That's when I realized this needs lot more dedication and efforts, because for IMs it's like 98, 99 percentile, 99.9 percentile, and I was in 70s, nowhere close. I said, okay, I can give many attempts, but CAT you can attempt only once a year,
Okay.
unlike GRE and everything.
Hmm.
But while I was doing that, after I got my first CAT results, I was like, this didn't work out. I should start earning. How much will I spend dad's money? So somehow I got referral from a family friend, and I gave an interview for Fidelity National Financial, not the investments,
Hmm.
Fidelity National Financial, and I started working. I could have continued for a full time, but
You didn't choose to.
the reason was I got to work on .NET. That time I was very choosy. Okay, I somehow, coming out of engineering, I wanted to work on Java. I
Hmm.
don't know why, I was not even so good at it, but I wanted to work on Java. And in Fidelity, for Java team, they wanted somebody with 3 to 4 years experience, and I was straight out of college. I initially got to work on .NET. And as soon as I got TCS joining date, I thought maybe I should explore more. So I quit Fidelity. I had 3 months of gap time where I went home, just chilled. And then my TCS training was in Gujarat for 3 months. I went there, completed training.
Okay, let's talk about this a bit because I'm
Hmm.
just completing engineering. What exactly do they do in this training period? Is it like college or what happens?
So I can talk specifically only about TCS, Tata
Yeah,
Consultancy
yeah.
Services.
Huh.
So in TCS, they know that whatever you do in engineering, it's
It's
not
utter
really
bullshit.
practical. I mean, it depends. Okay, some people take advantage of it and try to put in efforts to do it. Some people, try to get it done by fluke and don't invest as much time. So in TCS, they have this curriculum where, if it depends on what you're hired for, if you're hired to be a software developer or a programmer, they get you acquainted with tech skills as well as business skills. So mine was
Business
like
skills in the
mainly
sense,
how to talk to a client, how to
soft
prepare a
skill communication.
presentation, yeah, and what's the industry like, what are the typical client interactions like. Like straight out of college, you don't know, right? Maximum
Hmm.
you do is viva with your
True, true.
professor.
Hmm.
But firm handshake, your,
Eye contact.
yeah, all those things. People in Bangalore might know it already, but
But yeah, it's
not
always
not
better
from all
to.
cities. Yeah, not everybody gets an exposure, so they kind of mold you on that. And
What were you
they
hired as? You hired was a you were hired for a
initially, I
program
think in
developer.
TCS, everybody is hired as an associate software engineer trainee.
Hmm. That is.
The 3 months you'll be as a trainee.
Hmm.
Once you complete those 3 months of training, you'll be an associate systems engineer. So
Okay.
from associate system engineer trainee, you become an associate system engineer, and then you become a system engineer. So
Hmm.
the typical designation is the same, but then your role changes based on the project you get into.
Okay. So it's not like
So
you can choose whether you want to be a developer or a testing
yeah,
domain.
it
You can.
depends. Like in the project, you can be a developer, you can be a tester, you can be an analyst or whatever. And your project role they give you, but that will not reflect in the system. So
Okay.
if you get a letter, finally it will say the final firm designation itself, but your project title will be different.
Hmm.
So like, I mean, if it is from college hiring, campus hiring, but
Fair.
if you're an external hire, it changes again. Yeah, in during training they give you a project, you make like team of 4 or 5, you complete that project, you do the coding, you essentially do the project management, you know what a typical project works like, just a small gist of it.
Hmm.
And then you will be assessed, you'll be given score, you'll be given improvement
Even after engineering
feedbacks.
assessment.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll be
People
given
note that down.
feedbacks. Yeah. Yeah, they will score you, you need to complete that. If you don't complete that, they'll put you on an improvement plan, which is another plus 15 days of training and all that. I don't know how it works now, but back in 2013 that was the norm. Yeah, and after working in TCS for 2.5 years, I came here to get my master's degree. So that was your initial question, but I gave a lot of background.
That was good. We now there is a firm
Yeah.
base on which we can construct one floor after the other. How long did you
So
prepare for GRE?
I prepared for 3.5 weeks.
Is it enough? How long would you suggest someone to ideal time?
Enough is subjective. Okay, it depends on, first it depends on how good your analytical and language skills are. Next, what score are you aiming at?
Let's keep it at somewhere around 320, 315 to 320.
Yeah, if you want 320, you need at least 3 months of preparation, like dedicated. Me, I did not have dedicated time. I was like
You
working in a
were
project,
doing
and
it
I was
parallel.
not aiming at three. I was not aiming at such a high score because the colleges I had shortlisted had a relatively lower cut off. Yeah.
Okay, let's go a step back. Now, can you
Mm-hmm.
please tell the steps of doing applying for a college, or what you need to do and how do you apply it? Because there's a lot of drama going on. There's no one particular way that someone tells you like, okay, this is the way you do this first, then you next step is this. After that, you do this. Can you just lay out a hierarchy of what needs to be done after you have completed your engineering degree, or you're in the final year and planning for a degree, MS after that?
Okay. And before I start with that, so these are just my opinions, okay? There'll be so many people giving exactly opposite
Yeah,
opinions.
let's
I
keep
don't
it
know.
generalized according to you because we are talking with
Yeah.
respect to you. So that is
So,
your view.
according to me, what I've seen in my case is although I got 2.5 years work experience and all that, I decided to switch my stream
Hmm.
from hardcore programming to uh, data analysis and analytics,
Hmm.
business intelligence. So, all my 2.5 years, I didn't have relevant work experience to what I was switching to.
Okay.
So, when I started looking for jobs here, my previous experience was not even counted as much.
Hmm. That is your
So,
after MS degree.
yeah, yeah. So, if you are sure of what you want to pursue a master's in, don't wait for 2.5 years. Maybe take a few months or a year, but not more than that. Because a lot of firms over here consider experience after master's.
Okay.
So, it's better to start preparing early. And yeah, typically the steps are, first thing, don't think about anything else. Um, just have around what you're aiming at, what your college, and first decide the stream you want to get your master's in, and then Google what best colleges, and then my main thing was I didn't want to create a lot of financial burden. I always prepare for worst case. A good thing, bad thing, I don't know,
Olledu.
but worst. But I mean, sometimes too much negative not required, but for me it's like the default wiring. And I didn't want to take up a financial burden that's like spend 80 lakhs 90 lakhs and then struggle. So I wanted a safe college. That's why I shortlisted 5 of them, and they did not require such a big cutoff score. It was somewhere around 305 to 312,
Okay.
that range.
But still 312 is good
Yeah,
GRE score, I think.
yeah. 305 to 312 was enough, but it would also be backed by a lot of other things, your SOP and a lot.
Yeah.
But first step is decide what your scoring should be based on the college you want and the stream you want, and then give your GRE. That's the first step. Prepare, give your GRE. And again, I'm telling you, going to a consultancy, paying them, getting things done for you, not required. You can do it. And it's better if you do it because you will know what it is.
Yes.
Tell me, how can a consultancy person say things about you rather than what you can say about yourself,
True.
right? So first thing, prepare GRE, give GRE, make sure you've got so much score. And I think GRE has a validity of 3 years, I guess.
Yeah, three
I
years.
don't know. Yeah. And once you have your GRE, give your TOEFL exam if you're coming to the US. And even TOEFL, a lot of colleges have cutoff requirements.
Hmm.
Some have sectional cutoff requirements. So based on that, do that.
I think TOEFL everyone can clear, I guess.
Everyone can clear, but sectional cutoff requirements, some of the top tier colleges do have. If you get even zero point 0.5 lesser, it's very uncertain whether you can get a seat. I mean, not that getting a cutoff will secure a seat, but
Safer
plays
side.
a major role. Yeah. And once you have that, you need to work on making sure that you have good letter of recommendations. But keep in mind that letter of recommendation is not somebody who gives you a letter in a letterhead. Once you apply to colleges, those colleges will send the link to the person who is going to recommend you, and that person will have to fill out information about you.
Okay, I'll pause you right there.
Um, mhm.
Who should exactly give you a letter of recommendation? Is it your college teachers, or is it someone who you worked with or you interned with? How does it work?
It can be any. It can be your professors. It can
Like,
be your
does it
supervisor.
matter if the person giving the
It
LOR
doesn't
has
matter.
an experience or something like that?
I mean, most students who are coming straight out of college or with just 1 or 2 years experience do get it from the professors. And some of, I mean, if you have 2 to 3 years of experience, you can get it from your manager as well. But
But
it's
it
not
doesn't matter.
mandatory.
The degree of the person or the experience of the person giving you the LOR doesn't
I
matter.
don't think it matters. I think they will verify if the person is a professor, like you said, or a supervisor, like you said.
Legitimate.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter who you're getting it from. According to me, I don't know. For my college, it did not. I had got it from my professors, even though I had a work experience.
Okay. So I think to generalize it, the person who knows you better can give you a good LOR or something like that.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not just any person, the person who is in your
Who's worked,
college
yeah,
or in the
taught you
office.
or knows you or project
Mm-hmm.
guide or someone like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, that works. And once you have made sure, like essentially told that professor, someone, I'm trying for this is my goal. Can I get a recommendation from you, a positive one? Things like that. Most professors these days knows what it look like. They
Hmm.
will have done it for so many
Any,
students.
yeah.
They know what it is. Next thing will be sitting and jotting down your SOP, which is statement of purpose.
Hmm.
So in the US, it's like it's writing an essay about your achievements,
Okay.
professional achievements, or your leadership achievements, your voluntary activities, and where you have taken responsibility, community,
Basically, everything good
volunteering.
about you put down a paper.
Yeah, and including highlighting the professional experience or your academic experience based on what you're trying to pursue. So if you're trying to pursue in computer science, talk about the projects that you've done,
Market
how,
yourself. Yeah.
yeah. Don't, I mean, just say what, why you want to get a master's degree. It's not like you're marketing yourself for a job. It
Okay.
should speak of your passion, like
To the point.
why you want it.
How badly
Why
you
should
want
that
it.
college hire you? If there are 10 other students applying for the same one and if there are only 2 seats, why should they choose you? You should show your passion.
Hmm.
Write the statement of purpose, and once you have the statement of purpose, right, talk to your seniors, get your statement of purpose reviewed by a lot of people. You get a
How do you
lot
do
of
that?
samples in Google. So just know what the framework is like and write it in your own words. Don't copy, don't do anything. Just write
Yeah.
it in your own words. And you will know a lot of seniors who have come to the US, right? Just interact with them and tell them, I've prepared my statement of purpose. Can you review it? Do you have any suggestions? Do I need to change anything? Ask for their opinions. When you have opinion from like say 5 6 people, edit it, you read it, try to stand in that person's shoes and read it in a third person's view, how it reads, what it looks like.
Hmm.
Get it reviewed by your professor, get it reviewed by your manager, as many reviews as you can get. That
Good.
helps.
Better the good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think once that is done, it's all about shortlisting your colleges and applying.
How many colleges should someone ideally apply to? Keeping in mind the application fee of each university.
Yeah. See, you will go to only one college. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to apply to 10 colleges, that typically says how indecisive you are. You can't go to 10 colleges. Okay. And I think after you have your GRE, you can apply to 5 colleges for free.
Yeah, yeah. Immediately you can do that. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So I applied only to 5 colleges. Why spend extra money when I'm going to only one college, right?
Okay.
I applied for 5 colleges. Yeah.
And you got it within the five.
Yeah. Those are the five. I would go to any one of them I wanted. I mean, I knew in five, top one, top two, top three, four, five. So I wanted between one to three, considering a lot, but I got one of them, and I picked. Like
Which were the
I think I
universities
got.
you
Mhm.
shortlisted?
So I knew I was getting in that management information systems,
Okay.
which a
That
data
was your domain,
analytics
yes.
major.
Hmm.
Yeah, and in that, the top college I think is CMU,
Hmm.
Carnegie Mellon. But there, for a lot of things, I decided I'm not going for it.
Yes, on the financial side also, it's pretty huge in the pocket.
Correct. And I think it has two courses, 1 year, 1.5 years, and it has a top cutoff score for GRE, which is a lot higher, which would need a lot of preparation on my end as well. So not that. The second one is Arizona State University.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that was on my list. Uh, it was not a safe university for me. It was a challenging one for my GRE score, but I
But I
still
guess
wanted to.
somewhere around 310 to 315 is good enough for ASU.
No, I had got 308. I think ASU wanted at that time it was 312 if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, somewhere around 310 to 315 ASU
Yeah,
is
yeah,
good.
yeah. But yeah, that's why it was not like easy safe one, but I still wanted to try. ASU was the other one. Even ASU financially it's a little more.
Did you know something? A friend of mine is applying for universities, and one
Mm-hmm.
of her seniors or family member who studies ASU tells it's the party university.
Actually, here in the US, you can party in any university. Okay, it depends on your what your priorities are. Um,
That's like, please don't come to ASU if you don't party, it seems. That was a legitimate
Nothing
suicide.
like that. I mean, it depends again, opinions. But yeah, ASU was one. And I also, there was this another thing. So in VTU, we used to get in percentage, right? 80%,
Yes,
90%,
now it's
100%.
CGPA, but yeah, when you were there.
Yeah, here in the US, the colleges have this GPA system.
Hmm.
Some of the universities wanted to get in GPA. So not the regular formula that a lot of sites provide. There are different formula. Okay, like if you get
Out
this,
of
you can
7,
convert
there is
it.
one GPA, something
Huh.
like that.
But they want this actual evaluation done. I forgot what that evaluation is. The name of the evaluation. Some colleges wanted you to get your VTU
Which
score
does that?
evaluated. Yeah, evaluate it, and then have an official document of conversion to
Ah,
GPA.
that yeah, ours is a grading scale, right? Now they give us
Mm-hmm.
the once you apply,
Mm-hmm.
you pay 400
Mm-hmm.
rupees again. We have to pay everything.
Oh, we didn't
If-
have that. So I think it was costing some few dollars. So I didn't want to spend extra time. So I didn't apply to colleges that required that evaluation.
okay,
Okay. All the colleges that I applied to did not want require that evaluation. Next one I applied to
but now
was
it is required by all the colleges, I guess. You have
no,
to take
no.
a yes, yes. You get the your mark sheet, right? While you're applying for
Mm-hmm.
any college, you have to submit that, and you
Oh
can't submit
no, that
your
mark
mark
sheet,
sheet.
transcript and all they want.
Yeah, yeah,
But
transcripts.
this,
I meant by
yeah,
transcripts.
yeah, this evaluation, whatever it's done by your US agency, the verified one,
Okay.
where you submit your official transcript of engineering and they evaluate it to the American grading system and give you the equivalent score.
Oh, I didn't know this. All this happened.
Yeah, they have this evaluation thing. I mean, I don't know, a lot of things might have changed by now, 5 years
Yeah,
already.
we
Yeah,
you
yeah. So, other college I applied to was University of Texas at Dallas, which eventually I ended up enrolling for. Next one was UIC, University of Illinois Chicago, and next one was Oklahoma State University. So, in that so typically the application and everything, people start doing it pretty early on if they are trying to enroll for August, that is fall of next year, they start giving exams and everything pretty early on. Mine, I was still not sure between MBA and MS.
Even
There
after
was
writing
a
GRE?
no, no. Before that,
This was before that.
I gave another attempt at CAT
Oh, you missed
before
that.
this. Yeah, it reached closer to 90s, but nowhere near 99. At times, I even thought of quitting my job and preparing dedicatedly for CAT for 6 months and all that, but then thought
What exactly does someone do after MBA? What is the job role that you get?
manager or analyst, business development manager,
Okay.
something in management role mostly. I mean, I did a lot of weighing here and there. Then I was like, no, let me try MS, considering return on investment and all
Hmm.
those things. Whatever seemed right at
Interesting.
that time.
Interesting. Return on investment. That is very interesting.
And my family, being the only daughter, I was not even sure if they'll send me this far away. I'm like, I took few more months convincing them, and they were like, okay, give exam, then we'll see.
Hmm.
There was not like, not sure, okay, go there. Give
Let
exam, we'll see.
do the step one. Let's see.
Yeah. By the time I decided, I think some of the universities, it was already late for those universities.
Okay.
I would either have to wait for the next year or just go with the options I had. But all the universities that I wanted were still accepting applications, and I could do it. I got admits from UT Dallas, University of Illinois Chicago, and at a later point in time, even Oklahoma. But actually, initially Oklahoma, it was a reject. I don't know why. It was the safe university for me, which I was sure I would get.
Hmm.
And then first I got a reject. I don't know why, because a lot of people with a lower GRE score still had got accepts. And by the time I finalized on the university that I wanted to go to, I still had open discussion with them, but I didn't pursue it later on. University of Illinois Chicago, it was similar ranking to UT Dallas, but
Hmm.
the main reason for not because the placement statistics were similar, and the main reason for not choosing that is it is a little high on the cost side because Chicago is relatively higher cost of living, and it's very cold in Chicago, like extremely cold. And
Kashmir.
if I don't survive, how will I complete masters? I'm like,
Hmm.
no, let me go to UT Dallas. And yeah, I ended up there. So all you need to do is for your initial question, give your GRE TOEFL, apply for the colleges that you want, SOPs, LORs. That's it.
Okay.
Apply.
Suppose you have marked a university in mind, and your GRE score is somewhere around 2 3 points below the cutoff of that university. Would you suggest to write GRE again?
It depends on how badly you want it.
No,
Because
because let's
having
say
two,
it's not
three GRE
about
marks,
wanting bad, but then it's a good university, but you get a better you get good universities at your score, but it's a better one. So would you suggest giving a GRE score again, or does writing GRE more than once, reflect something on your profile, or
it doesn't reflect anything. You take the best one. But writing GRE again doesn't essentially give you a guarantee that you'll score better than the previous one. Plus, you need to spend so much to write it again.
yeah, it's not cheap.
Plus, you'll lose on time. So it is like if you really want that university, no other university can fill that place for you. I badly want it, I'm ready to wait for it, then go for it.
Okay.
Otherwise, even if your score is a little here and there, getting a very good TOEFL and having a strong SOP and good LORs, it can still do the job. It
Yeah.
also depends on the number of applicants, profile of the applicants around you. If the cutoff score was 312, suppose hypothetically 312 last year, it doesn't mean that
Next
it'll
year will be
remain 312 this year. If
oh,
the standard of students applying there goes higher, a notch higher, then they might rather put it up. It
fair.
depends on whether you're willing to take the risk. I was not.
Fair. Okay, now there are two seasons, right, where they take in applicants. One
Mm-hmm.
is the fall season, and the other one is the you starts from
Spring.
yeah spring. What
Yeah.
is the is there any difference?
There is a difference. It depends, okay? Not all colleges work in the same way. Some colleges don't even offer spring sessions.
Okay,
And my college, UT Dallas, they offered fall, spring, and summer.
okay, three.
Yeah. Um, Sometimes they say that getting enrolled in fall is good because you graduate in May, and
The peak
suppose you
time.
have a job offered before February, they can put your H1 application in the very year, and you get 4 attempts. But it's all a myth. It doesn't really work like that. So and it depends. Some of the colleges you can complete in 1.5 years. You can get enrolled in fall and still complete within December. You need not
Yeah.
wait for 2 years. And some of them, the typical coursework is 1.5 years. So it
Okay,
doesn't really matter.
that's procedure one. Moving on to
Hmm.
procedure two. You have got your admit. Everything is set. The studying part is done. Next is how do you find a place? How do you find people? How do you do?
Yeah,
What is the procedure two? Let's go one by one. The code line down.
it's not at all difficult. Okay, suppose you have a group of friends going from the same city, and you know
Suppose
you.
what if let's take the worst case scenario. What if you
Hmm,
don't?
I didn't. So when you have all these social media things, right? All you need to do is, for example, my college, UTD fall, whatever, 2020 admits. If you join that group, you'll find hundreds of people from every part of uh, India, which I searched, who are there, who are just like you, who don't know a thing, exploring, amateurs. So, and then they'll create WhatsApp groups.
Hmm.
So initially it will be like people who are aiming for that university. Then it'll narrow down to people who've got admits. Then it'll narrow down to people who have shortlisted and decided to go to that university.
Next, we've got
And for
admit.
every level, they'll create different WhatsApp groups. And then when the college accepts a lot more applicants, it'll be WhatsApp group one, admit two, admit three, all that. And some students will have seniors studying in the same colleges, so
Huh.
there'll be guest entry of those seniors. They'll come by one Sunday and they'll answer all your questions, the typical questions.
Yeah.
How do you select your courses, how do you get the rooms or apartments and all that. So once you're in there, there are so many people, they'll just guide you
Push you.
accordingly. Yeah, you need not worry about that. And in that WhatsApp group only you can find, like, you, it's like,
You click
dating
together.
kind of
Someone.
thing. Yeah, you find one person who you think gels up with you, has similar career interests, you kind of get along well, so you decide, okay, same room. Then you find another person coming in, okay, three people, one apartment. That's how it works, because here there are hardly any hostels and PGs
Yeah, yeah.
that we
That
see in
that
India.
that is my next question. Why do like anyone I ask stays in an apartment? Is there no facility for hostels, or people don't
No,
prefer hostels, or what is it?
no, there are no hostels. Even on campus housing, it's apartment. You need to lease apartment. You need to be there.
Okay, there is no facility provided by the university, is it?
No, not like the college hostels.
Okay.
There'll be university apartments, like apartments in the campus where you can lease the apartment.
Again, you
You
lease it
can
from the
live there.
university, or is it
Yeah. If it's
okay?
on campus, you lease it from the university. If it's outside the campus, because in the campus and my university, there were hardly few, because my university offers undergrads as well as grads.
Hmm.
In It's a very huge university, so chance of getting that, first you go on a wait list, and you can't choose your roommates. They choose the roommates for you. The
It
things.
can be anyone from India or international as
It
well.
can be anyone from
Okay.
anywhere and any major. So yeah, Even the apartments which are close by, which have bus routes um, available, Dart bus or the university bus routes, all that, they guide you. They get information, and Google has all
How
the
did you find an
information.
apartment? Like, did you find it before you went there, or was it like
Yeah.
going there and then hunting for the apartment?
No, you need to figure out where you want to be. I mean, again, a long story. It didn't really work out the way I thought it would.
Okay.
But on campus, I did not get. I was not even waitlisted. It was all like, sold out sort of. So I had to check off campus. I found three other roommates from different states who I thought, matched my frequency, and we decided we'll get an apartment. And we paid the application fee. We applied for the apartment, and we were shortlisted.
Oh, on the internet, you mean? You applied all this
Yeah, yeah,
through
yeah,
internet?
yeah,
How did
yeah,
you
yeah.
contact the landlord?
I mean, everything is there on their website.
It's like 99acres.com.
Emails will do. They
Hmm.
they respond in emails. You don't call because international calls are expensive. You
There
don't
are
really
apps for
call
that,
on.
I guess, now.
Yeah,
Like
now
99
at that
acres.
time we didn't. So um, emails, you need to give your college I-20. So after you secure an admit, they'll give you the college documents. So you need to give that and your ID and everything. Pay the application fee. Tell them how many people are going to be there. Put signatures. Fill out the forms. And then we were waitlisted. So according to a lot of data sources, after we are waitlisted, chance of getting that was pretty easy.
Hmm.
But then work out
It was off campus
after
or on campus?
off campus. On campus,
Okay.
it was gone. But after we went there, we realized we did not get that. The shortlist was never cleared.
After you went there.
Yeah, but backup we had applied to another place as well,
Okay, you need to have a
and
backup.
yeah, and there I can say it was poor planning on my end, because once only when you're confirmed they'll deduct the application fee. I mean, they'll have specified whether it's refundable, non-refundable, whatever. For this, wherever we did not get it was refundable application fee, and they did not give us the apartment. The other place we had paid a non-refundable amount. So once they say you're getting that for sure, you need to say whether you want it or not within 5 days.
Hmm.
Okay. And that apartment people said for this month, like I was coming to the US on July 29th.
Hmm.
So for August, we don't have. But for end of September, we have availability. We can give you. That's what they said. That was relatively safer, like a gated community. So my new roommates and I decided, okay, September we'll go there. For 2 months, we'll go to another apartment community,
Hmm.
which is not really gated, not so good, but we'll go to
Manageable.
that for 2 months. And for 2 months, it's more. It's the shorter the lease term is, the higher the prices.
Interesting.
Okay. But we decided to go for it. We confirmed, okay, September we are coming there. We told the other apartment community, and this one we confirmed for 2 months. And first, when we came for 2 days, it was temporary housing. Your seniors, Indian seniors,
Hmm.
and UT Dallas, there are a lot of Indian people coming here,
Yeah.
unlike other universities. And we had this
Dallas
Indian
is like
students.
mini India.
Yeah, it is kind of a cleaner mini India. Yeah. So our Indian Students Organization Association (ISA), they gave us temporary accommodation and seniors place for 2 days. Then once my new roommates also came to Dallas, we moved to that short-term 2 months place. Then one day we were like new friends talking to each other, new
Chilling.
place. No, we don't know one bug over here. Like it was like
That's
totally
fun,
all
no?
new experience. It's
Old ಕಡೆ
it's
ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ನೆ.
ಏನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಊರೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆನ್ಸಿನೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್
ಮಜಾ.
ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಈ ಊರಿಂದು.
ಅದೇ ಹೆಂಗೆ? How did you manage with the currency initially?
ಫಾರೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ
ಹಾ,
ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಉಜ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು.
ಉಜ್ಜಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಉಜ್ಜಿಸ್ಕೊಳಲ್ಲ. Not
Is it?
we didn't know this either. ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ. I think we need another session to talk about
Why?
this entire
ಉದಿಸ್ಕೊಳಲ್ಲ
thing.
ಓದ್ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. It is their record, no?
ಹೌದು, ಅದ್ರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ somehow ಮಜಾ. So after going to that short term one day we roommates decided, okay, we'll see what that long term apartment looks like.
That you
ಅದು
were
ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ
going
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
after
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ
September end.
ದೂರ.
Huh.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಸ್ ರೂಟು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿ 20 minutes the bus comes like it used to come to this apartment place, and you had to walk like too much. And in Dallas, summers are really bad, okay? Like really bad. It goes to 40 to 43.
Oh.
ಆ
Humidity?
ಬಿಸಿಲು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಷ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡ್ರೈ ಸ್ಕಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಹೀಟ್. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ, ಅದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಫೀ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ, ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೀವೋ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ವಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್. ದೆನ್ ಒನ್ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ವಿ. Yeah, finding apartments, all that guidance you can get, and everything can
It's
happen
easy.
online. Yeah, it can happen
Because that's
online. It's
even
easy.
I at one point of time when I was planning and I was trying something, I was researching about all this stuff. That is where I felt scared. Finding legitimate people, that becomes
Yeah, finding your roommates is a pretty tricky thing, but it'll go on. Like you'll figure out.
how is the living standard for a student?
If you're spending Indian money, Indian currency in dollars, it depends whether. See, some people will have that, what do you say, privilege to spend as much and
Okay,
live the life they want, party, get whatever they want.
get
Some
whatever
people
andre.
ಹೊರಗೆ ತಿನ್ನು, ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡು, ಒಂದು ದೋಸೆಗೆ $15 ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ನನಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಪಿಜ್ಜಾ ತಿನ್ನು, ಬರ್ಗರ್ ತಿನ್ನು, ಅದ್ ತಿನ್ನು, ಇದ್ ತಿನ್ನು.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಉಪ್ಪಿಟ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸತ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ?
ಯಪ್ಪಾ ಬೇಡ, ಆ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯೇ ಬೇಡ. ಉಪ್ಪಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾರಿಗ್ ಬೇಕು?
ಉಪ್ಪಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂದೆ, ಆಹಾ ಮನೇಲಿ ಉಪ್ಪಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ತಿಂತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ನಂಗೆ ಉಪ್ಪಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. I mean, it depends how conservative life, it's different per person.
On an average, how much do you spend in a week or a day for that matter?
If you're
Average.
living with roommates, ಸೊ
How
ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ
does
ಹೆಂಗ್
that
ಗೊತ್ತಾ,
matter?
ರೆಂಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ.
Okay.
ನಾನ್ 1 bedroom ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ 4 ಜನ ಇದ್ವಿ.
1 bedroom apartment.
ಸೊ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ರೆಂಟ್ ನನ್ ಶೇರ್ $300 ಹತ್ರ ಬರೋದು.
ನೀವು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾವ್ ಇನ್ನ US ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ
ಇವಾಗಿನ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 22,000.
ಎಂತ ಆಚೆಯಿಂದ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಹೋಯ್ತು, ಚಾರ್ಜಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡೆ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ?
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಾಲಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂಗೆ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚೀಪರ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅಷ್ಟು ವೆಲ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ $900 1 bedroom ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. $900
56,000, 56K.
ಇವಾಗಿನ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ 75 ಇದೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ರೇಟ್.
Somewhere around 65, 70.
ಅಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ.
So 70 divided by 4.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಂಗ್ 4 ಇತ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಬ್ಳು ಬಿಟ್ಟೋದು 3 ಆದ್ವಿ. ಒಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಗೆ ಒಂದು $300, $320 ಹಂಗ್ ಬರೋದು. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ರೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವೈಫೈ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ
ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೀ ಕೊಡಲ್ವಾ ಅದು? ಐ ಹರ್ಡ್ ದೇ ಗಿವ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಫೀ ಆರ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್.
ಆನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಒಂದು. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಕೆಲವು ತರ, ಬಟ್ ನಂಗೆ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮನೇಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಿನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಗ್ರಾಸರಿ ಶಾಪಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಿಸಲೇನಿಯಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ within I used to keep it within $480 a month.
$500 average. Okay, that is 35 to 40. Okay, so how was initially when you went there? Did you start cooking from the day one or?
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ
Knowing your cooking
ಇರಲ್ಲ.
skills.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ನಿಲ್.
Huh. Huh.
ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೆಟ್ ವಾಟ್ 3 ಚೆಕ್-ಇನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ರೂಮೇಟ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್, ನೀನ್ ಚಾಕು ತಗೊಂಬ, ನಾನು ಸ್ಪೂನ್ ಫೋರ್ಕ್ ತಗೊಂಬರ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ತಗೊಂಬ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಗ್ರಾಸರಿ ಏನಿರಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ.
Hmm.
ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯಾರೋ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಪಾಪ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ವಾಲ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಮಾನು ತಂದು ಸೆಟಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಕುಕಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ 1 ವೀಕ್ ಫರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಕುಕಿಂಗ್. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರೋ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸೇ ಪಾಪ ಊಟ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Hmm.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಟು ಕುಕ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ 1 slice of cake will cost like $2, $3. ಐ ಮೀನ್, ನೀನ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಲೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಖರ್ಚಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಮೀ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್, ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಓವರ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ when you start
It's good.
working,
It's good.
yeah, when you start working in India and when you know how to handle money, handle your salary, you kind of get an ego that ಬೇರೆ ಅವರಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಾರ್ದು. and you should be conservative because it's student life. You don't need to
Yes.
lead a life.
There's always a better age for that.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕುಕಿಂಗೇನೆ ವರ್ತ್ ಇಟ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದು ದೋಸೆಗೆ $15 ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡೋದು ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೀಮ್ ವರ್ತ್ ಇಟ್. ಮನೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಕುಕಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಚಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಹಿಡ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದು.
ಮನೇಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ? ತುಂಬಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಂತೂ.
ಮನೇಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ.
ಮ್ಯಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಪ್ಪ.
ನೀನು ನಾನು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ.
ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಸೀನಿಯರ್.
ಮ್ಯಾಗಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಮೆಣಸಿನ್ಕಾಯಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಈರುಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಕುಕಿಂಗ್.
Okay, that is that. And then how is your course academics there? Does it work the same way as in Indian colleges or?
No, it doesn't. In ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ there were multiple tracks. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್, ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್.
Are those domains or
within
subdomain?
Information systems, they are sub majors that
you can choose. It's like elective subjects.
Healthcare, you can choose the track you want, and within those tracks there are few mandatory courses, but other than that you can choose, read which course you want, which course seems interesting, which course has more job market. And not every time you get the course that you want. It is also first come first serve.
Okay.
If people enroll it and if the seats are done, you'll either have to wait for next semester or choose a different subject. I mean, in our college the coursework was not that extensive. It was good. You could choose very easy courses, you could choose very hard courses. It was up to you. Like, we had that liberty.
How does classes happen?
Again, attendance not mandatory.
Yeah,
it depends on professor as well.
okay.
But everything is focused on practical knowledge, projects, assignments. You can go to college, listen to the lecture, ask questions and all that, or you can say, okay, I'm going to study more on my own, but I'm going to do well in exams. I think it's up to you. They don't really care. They don't micromanage what you're doing, but your assessments and your exam scores, your projects, everything should be up to the mark.
How does the assessments take place? Is it a theory based or is it?
Yeah, some of them are theory based, some of them are multiple choice, some of them are online.
Okay. You have attended 1 or 2 classes, right? You have attended 1 or 2 classes, like proper class?
I have attended all. So for me it was 4 semesters, right? In 4 semesters I had to take 12 courses, and I could distribute it the way I wanted.
Okay.
They would allow you to take even 6 courses, but they would strongly say no. But you could convince them to allow you to take 6 courses in 1 semester.
But why would someone want to do that?
people were here with 6-7 years of experience,
Oh,
and
okay.
they were capable of doing that, so they
Hmm.
convinced the management.
Yeah, that is a different whole other
But
scenario.
I typically was three. Yeah, we could choose three or four, and I chose four first semester. And I attended all classes because all those subjects were new to me, right? I didn't have prior knowledge in a lot of them.
Okay, we've established something
Oh.
there. I'll pause you there. Now, how
Mm.
much did you understand in the class?
No, no, you can follow that. No
Yeah.
problem. They'll go like there's a standard way they say they give you all the coursework beforehand. You can even prepare before going to the class.
I mean the
And
accent, the language.
it is not difficult. I mean, these days kids watch so many English movies. For them, it should not be a problem at all. But relatively, a lot of times, American English, there are some differences in the way they stress the words. Like we Indians have a blend of Britain English,
Yeah,
American
England.
English, and plus our Indian English.
Hmm.
For example, they, according to British, it's path, and we call it path, but these Americans call it path.
Hmm.
But it's not that difficult to follow
Okay.
because they don't. Uh, the pace is not that fast.
Hmm.
It's
It's
slow.
decent.
So you can, yeah. Sometimes they tell you to slow down. Okay, come back. Slow down. What are you trying to say? So it was not difficult.
No. With that, procedure two ends. Procedure three, placements. How is the opportunity there? What is the procedure of placements?
Yeah. Before we get there, one thing we left before, between searching apartments, searching roommates, and coming here,
Hmm.
one main thing that you need to do is set up your LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
I think nowadays all kids have it
Yeah.
in engineering, but
Hmm.
in my days it was not many people bothered to do it. But LinkedIn profile is very important.
Why is that?
Have a Here a lot of networking with the firms, with the recruiters happen via LinkedIn.
Okay.
So have a professional picture of yourself. Put your education qualifications. If you're coming here for whatever masters and you don't have any experience in it whatsoever, do some minor certification courses so that you are pacing up yourself, and start connecting with all the seniors that are here
Hmm.
and everybody in the industry. Essentially, start adding all those people and your seniors who are studying here, who have already graduated and working here. Start adding them to your LinkedIn network. And if you have already worked there, get professional recommendations as well on LinkedIn.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if you have any major recommendations, try to put it in your LinkedIn profile because that's the visibility social profile they have.
Okay.
And then work on your resume. When I was in college, my resume was 3 pages. Okay.
But that
And does it still happen to you guys also have three
no,
pages resume?
we are told to have it between maximum to max 2 pages, but 1 page is ideal.
Yeah. So we didn't know 3 pages. I had hobbies, reading books, solve Sudoku. I had
You know
all
why?
those.
We had a class, okay? We have something called placement training. Naam ka vaise they'll
Mm.
do. In that, initially, few classes are good where the technicalities and all that happen, but later there is something called soft skills, group discussions, how to write a resume. In that, I forgot the exact word that lady told, but instead of you shouldn't put hobbies, something interest, areas of interest. That's what she's
Mm.
told. It's not hobbies. Hobbies is not the word. Areas of interest.
Any of that, okay? Nothing of that matter. And forget max to max 2 pages. No, have a 1 page resume. Most of the colleges have a resume template in their website itself.
Yes.
Follow that. Okay,
Hmm.
put your name, put your colleges, put your major, And at that time, if you don't have work experience, that's fine. Put your academic projects, put your
Hmm.
internship experience in there. And also the visa requirement.
Hmm.
You will be on F1.
Oh, yes. Hmm.
Yeah, put
Visa.
it down. Because when you're here, you'll be with Americans, you'll be here with citizens.
Hmm.
And firms don't give the visa for all positions.
Hmm.
So put that. Have a one-page resume with no typos. And there is a way to draft the resume. It will be in the college website mostly.
Hmm.
That every bullet points start with the verb,
Yes. Hmm.
and the bullet point should not cross over two lines, because typically it seems a recruiter, when they look at your resume, they spend only 10 seconds to
Yes. Yes.
figure out.
Hmm.
So make sure you have that resume in hand already. Get that also reviewed. That's important. And once you come here, my initial focus was trying to get an on campus job,
Hmm.
so that at least your day to day expenses you can somehow
This
handle
is
with the
like
on campus
while you're doing your course, or was this after the while doing the course?
course.
Okay. But there's
And
this
also,
myth, or I don't know what is it called. Is it something like you can't work off the campus while you are on a visa or something? Is that legit?
that you can, don't even try to do an off campus job, it can lead to deportation.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Yeah. Only on campus job students are allowed to do. Stick to that. Some people, I can say, try to challenge it and still do it. But not at all
Is
recommended.
there
Don't do it. Not
good
worth
enough
it.
opportunity for on-campus jobs? Like, do you get it?
Depends on the university. Considering the number of students in UT Dallas, it was challenging. But in some universities, there are less students, so there are ample opportunities for everyone. Um, for us, it was a bit difficult, challenging, had to give a lot of attempts. And once you have the on campus job, if it's technical, you can put that on your resume as well.
Yes.
But by the end of first semester, most university have career fairs.
Hmm.
At that time, I didn't know. I just went to see what it looks like. I didn't even have a proper one-page resume. But apparently, there were few students of my batch who got an internship offer right in that career fair.
Okay.
That's when it hit. Like, we were what, 3 months in college when trying to figure out things, and there were kids already on that level who went and fetched themselves internship opportunity for the semester end.
Hmm.
That's when it hit to me how much behind that I am and how much preparation it needs. Once you come here, it'll be like, if you are taken 10 steps ahead, there'll be people who are 20,
15.
20 steps further. So you need to be extra prepared. So be prepared to attend any career fair at any time. Even if somebody wakes you up and says there's a career fair or a campus connect happening, be ready to pick your resume and go
Hmm.
and market yourself. Yeah, mostly LinkedIn, there are job boards, LinkedIn, and company websites where they'll have posted all the job opportunities.
Openings.
You get referrals. If not, you just apply. That's how you find the job.
How hard was it for you? You got a job in Deloitte, right? Deloitte, that big four.
It was very initially when you go, it will be internship. Finding an internship is the first thing. It'll be summer. So between your second and third sem, you have 3 months to get your
Hmm.
internship. I think that internship offer was self um, a challenge. I had to apply and network and apply and network, get referrals. Nothing was working out. Try and try and try. Finally, got few interviews,
Okay.
and I am learning with Hewlett Packard Enterprise.
Hmm.
Once I got that internship and worked there, I got this extra confidence.
Hmm.
Okay, next step is easier because in this domain now I have some experience that I can market. I know contacts. I
Yes.
know how this thing. But again, went to career fairs, connected with recruiters. Some firms, they have this their own handshake sessions in universities.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
go to that, work with recruiters, try and something clicks. But
You
this I
have
can't. Of times it's they say it's hard work, they say it's your skills, but there is this other section which is luck.
luck.
Yeah,
Does it really work? Even after 2 degrees in hand, does luck play a role?
it does because okay, cracking the interview, putting your skills is up to you, but getting that interview, I think luck plays a role as
How is
well.
the procedure? What is the procedure? Is it like the same as you did for TCS? Was it a written test first and then a coding test and then 2 or 3 rounds of technical
It depends on
interviews?
the firm. It depends on the firm and the role you're applying for. If it's a management consulting firm like Big Four, there'll be initial recruiter discussion like, okay, what have you done before? Walk me through your
One
resume,
on
sort
one.
of thing. Next, there'll be yeah, one on one. Mostly a phone call or a video interview. And then there'll be a networking session, a dinner with your fellow applicants and some
Yeah,
two, three
all that happens.
managers, sort of thing.
All that happens.
Yeah, yeah. And then they'll call you for a day of on site interview. I mean, for me, for this particular firm, it was like that. Then there were like 5 rounds of interviews. Um, the first one was a technical one, and after that, it was like discussion based on first round. The third one was
That's funny.
behavioral. Yeah. Fourth one was mostly the compensation discussion, like what
HR.
am I looking for? They'll not have given you the confirmation of offer, but they'll discuss compensation there.
Same like HR.
Uh, yeah. But there'll also be case study interviews. Here they don't say inter, they skip T interview, but yeah. It depends. Like if you are into Big Four, case studies will be there. It depends on the position and the firm. But there'll be technical interviews as well if your role is technically focused. But here they don't do anything for namesake. In
You do it
every
correctly.
single in every single stage, they'll be assessing you. They'll be comparing you with the fellow applicants. Yeah.
Now, what do you work as? And since we've talked about placements and stuff, how many companies did you apply before that? What was the
Count
number of this company, and then what are you working as? I'll not talk about the pay. That's not the right thing.
countless applications over months. I started applying right from my third semester beginning. I
Don't you
don't
have
even
like
have.
placements in the college? Like,
There
does it
are
have
career
back in
fairs.
engineering?
There are career fairs. Let's say in my college, 6 to 7% of students got hired by career fairs. Remaining had to find their own way.
Okay.
So whether you fall in that 5 to 7% or not depends. And here, after joining, it has been like multiple roles. Initially, it was an entry level consultant where you get a hint of what the industry is like. You work for different, I mean, I work for different clients, mostly in business analysis, data analysis type of projects. So in consulting, what happens is it's for you work for the client. The client gives you a project and you work for that project.
Okay.
And once that engagement is done, you move on to another one. And then I also got to work on a product which was developed by the firm itself
Okay.
and other companies using this product. And we had to give data support for that project. So yeah, it has been a wide range of experience.
Suppose an average student, how how well can he secure a job? Is it like a job guaranteed if you do MS, or is just that a myth?
It every student after coming here feels like an average student. Everyone else is better from you in so many aspects. Okay. I am the best kind of thing doesn't work after coming here. And it's how much you're ready to strive. If you're ready to try enough, you can secure a job. But that said, it is hardly dependent on economy. And being on a visa, which doesn't guarantee the number of years you can work here, narrows down the number of firms that are ready to take you in.
So yeah, that does play a
That's
major
the
role.
Yeah, it's a hard fact. Like there's no denying. But that doesn't mean that you won't get an opportunity, because this land has a lot of opportunities. Some people get it even without trying. Okay, they'll have applied to five, and in that they'll get one and they'll crack it. Some people have every talent that the job needs, but securing an interview will be the difficult part for them. All you need to do is keep trying, and if you try enough, you can get. But there are also cases where so getting your first job, most of them get it. Like almost everybody I know from my batch, they could secure a job. If not in the way, if not soon after graduation, at least few months down the lane, they were able to secure a job.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
How good is
that
the pay?
that pays enough to sustain you. Initially, you can't think about saving extra money because you'll have a huge education loan that you need to clear. But if you think about 6 years, you will have saved a lot more money, which an average person entry level in India could have saved. That considering you transferring US dollar currency to India and saving in Indian currency.
Hmm.
If you think of saving in US currency and compare that to saving in Indian currency, it is pretty much the same. Because here you'll be paying as much rent, your
Yes.
expenses will be a lot more. But if you're transferring money to India and saving there, that figure looks more.
Yeah.
But you can't judge it in 4 or 5 years. If you live here longer, if visa works out, if you get to live here longer, then you'll have saved more, I guess. But it depends
How long
on
does it
the
take to clear your
priorities.
loan?
2 to 3 years.
With intense saving or an average saving?
Yeah, you need to be a little conservative. And if you're in a city that where the taxes are a lot higher and the cost of living is high, it requires a lot more being conservative kind of nature. But I think 2 to 3 years is good.
What do you feel about?
Also, it depends. If you're get a very good industry job that pays you like really high, then 1 year, 1.5 years. Yeah.
Okay, what do you feel about studying there and coming back to India for work? Does it take the same amount of time to clear your loan, or what is the pay scale difference?
Right now in India, there are very good firms that pay you really good money. But I don't think they'll pay you as much if you soon get your master's and come back there, because there is still a
Experience.
learning curve. Why would they pay so much to get you trained, right? But if you work here for like few years, get enough experience and can defend your experience, I think coming back to India makes a lot more sense, because you'll be with family.
True.
Here you have to take care of everything on your own. It's cleaning the house, taking care of kids, or doing
Especially
anything. It's
Indians
your
find it very hard, no? Because we are on a whole different level of.
yeah. So it depends. Like a few years, if you get good experience, and then if you get a very good opportunity in India, then yeah, it does make sense to come back. But as soon as you get your MS, coming back before clearing the loan, it never really appealed to me as much.
True, you would have taken loan. I think it's better to come back after you've cleared and gained a year or three or 2 or 3 of experience.
Yeah, gaining experience, gaining international experience here,
Is
I
always
think
good.
it valued more in India.
True. Okay, that wraps up my questions. Do you have anything to talk about or myths that has to be uncovered that you faced?
Nothing comes for easy over here, okay? Once you're here, you'll become wise beyond years. But that being said, once you're here, right, there is no micromanaging, no family to, you know, comment on your every minute steps or anything. So what I've seen is a lot of people take that newfound freedom, they consider this is party time and they don't put in as much efforts.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on what your focus should be on. If you are really serious, if you are from a conservative family, then keep your priorities straight. If your roommate is doing something, you don't have to do it.
True.
You can choose your way. And every time you should focus on gaining the skills plus getting a job. Just learning is not the focus. Getting a job also is as important. So don't lose focus and don't be scared. Once you come here, there'll be hundreds of people who are doing it. And when so many people can do it, why can't you or why can't anyone do it?
Correct.
But don't burden yourself. I've seen some people who are from a very tight financial background
Mm-hmm.
who have who had put everything on stake and come here.
Hmm.
But when I came here, the market was good and it did work out. But I was imagining people coming here with that same situation in the current market. COVID thing, colleges have closed, people are not able to come back to the home country, they're paying rent, they're burning money.
My God,
It's
it's very
really
scary,
difficult.
no?
Yeah. Always think of the worst case condition and see if you have so much to put on stake. Because this is a serious decision. Whether you come soon after engineering, whether you come after your marriage and after having kids doesn't matter. Also, after F1 student visa, you have 3 years of OPT.
Okay. I,
Okay.
I thought two. Okay, it's three.
Yeah, it became 3 years in 2016, 2015, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was changed. So you have 3 years. And to within those 3 years, you need to get your H1.
Hmm.
Okay. And that OPT begins only if you secure a job after
Yes.
your graduation. Okay. And within those 3 years, your company should sponsor your H1.
Hmm.
And if the company agrees, that is not enough. It should be picked in lottery.
Hmm.
Okay. If it gets picked in the lottery, it should be approved here. If it is approved here, while you come for stamping to your home country or a different country, it should be approved there.
Hmm.
Once you have your H1, typically they give it for 3 years at first. Sometimes it's even 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years, depends.
Hmm.
They give it for 3 years. Consider the best case of H1B 3 years. Suppose within 3 years of APT you secure H1, it's for 3 years. After 3 years, they have to extend it for another 3 years.
Hmm.
Again, when they apply for extension, it should be approved. When you come for stamping again, it
It
should
should
be
be
approved.
approved. Same.
Yeah. And you have only have 6 years of H1 in total. Within those 6 years, your company should sponsor your green card.
Hmm. Green
And
card is for citizenship, or what
green card is
exactly is the concept?
green card is just for residency.
Okay.
Like you can reside here and work or study for
For
as
how
long
many
as
years? As long
as
as you
long as.
want.
But I think you need to renew it 5 years or. But people born in India, current situation, hard fact, I don't think we have a way of getting a green card in a traditional way. You cannot. Backlog is way too high. By the time you get your green card, you'll be retired and all that. So within those 6 years, you need to get your approval for green card. Okay. You won't get the green card. You need to get your
Approval.
approval. And if you have the green card approval, you can get H1B extended indefinitely.
Hmm.
Not at once. 3 years, 3 years,
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
And every 3 years, anything can happen. Okay, they may reject it, not approve it, not stamp it, anything. So, lot of things are uncertain here. And if spouse has a green card approval, then the partner can get H4 EAD, dependent visa, and an EAD card to work here.
Hmm.
But the government is even planning to remove that privilege.
ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂಕಲ್ ಏನ್ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಆಮೇಲೆ OPTನೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ 3 years ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ whether it happens or not, every time the government talks about it, the firm become cautious.
Yes.
Because they'll think, is it worth it for us to hire someone who needs so much of immigration support, invest so much, and still the person goes for stamping, and if it's not stamped, the person doesn't come back to work for the company.
True.
Is it worth it anta nodtare? That will
Correct.
narrow down opportunities. So you should be prepared for all this. If everything works out, great, you're living the American dream. Are you ready to take it if it doesn't work out? That's the question. So whoever is watching this video, for them the question is, are you ready for all this? It's not just a crown jewel getting an MS degree. It's not like a smooth bed of roses path. Are you ready for it? If you are, then go for it by all means. Although for 1 or 2 years nobody might even think of it, but when they do,
ಸೈತಾನೆ ಸಬ್ಕ ಹಿಲಾಡಲ್ಲ.
yep. Yeah, that's
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
it.
ದ ನೇಷನ್ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ನೋ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮತ ಯಾರಿಗೆ?
ನಾವು ಮತನ ಹಾಕಂಗಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
ಹಾಕಂಗಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಕಾನ್ಯೇಗ?
ನಾವು ಪಕ್ಷೇತರ ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿ ನಿಲ್ಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದ್ರೂನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಬರ್ತಿದಾರೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಈಗ ನಾವೇ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ಕೋ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ ದೇಶದವ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದ್ರೆ
ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇನ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಸೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್
whatever they are doing, obviously they'll have to think for them first. See, according to me, it is bad for Indians, but whatever Trump is doing, he's doing for his citizens, just like Modi is doing for India, something of that sort.
That is subjective, okay? I won't get into that, but it is okay for them, and I agree that a lot of firms have taken advantage according to the statistics, but a lot of us who are legitimately trying this are being affected because of
Correct.
that.
True.
And I don't think any government can completely solve it for you, but no matter what it is, you don't get to vote, you don't get to decide, forget that.
Go with the flow.
Just be prepared. Correct.
Thanks, Avilo. Thank you.
No problem, bro.
ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಸಮಯ ಬಂತು. ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ.